So you guys said you didn't mind watching me work, so here I am working. I am also a little lonely. I think it's pretty surprising that I admit that. I'm not one to admit that sort of thing, but I have discovered that I am... Let me just tell you what I'm doing first before I start whinging, shall I? It's very hard because of the light's right here. You can see it reflected. But I need the light. I don't know how to put the light any other way, but I need the light because I'm blonde. These are the dividers for the planners. So these have been made because they're made... Should I let all my secrets out on the internet? Why not? These are made from a... God almighty. Already we're struggling and I'm just, what, a minute into a video? They're laminated sheets. I laminate them, so put them through the laminator, and this is what I have. It's cheaper than buying like Perspex sheets, so it works for me because anything cheaper is better because I'm broke as all get out, right? And then then they're an A4 sheet, so they're this size. Then I put them on the silhouette mat, put them through the silhouette cameo, and it will cut out the tab shapes. So each planner has 12 tabs. I've cut 24 this morning, and now I'm putting the months on them. So I have the months I cut out of vinyl. Oh, no, that's 2. And then I cut them down into individual months, and then they get a little bit of sticky on the top of them and it peels off, and then I have to line that up in approximately the right place, and then that's how your dividers are made. And then I have to do that 24 times today because I have 2 planners that are in the works, although they should have already been done, but the last couple of days have been a little tragic. As I was starting to say before, I realised that today is the first day that I have been completely and utterly alone. No pets, no kids. Since about 37 years ago. So yeah, so it's a bit, just feeling it today. Like, I don't consider I've always known that I'm kind of lonely, but not lonely enough that I want to have a partner or have someone live here. That I don't want that. I still don't want that. But I've always had a pet. So, you know, up until 2 years ago, I had Boogly and socks. And then up until yesterday, I had socks. So, yeah, I kind of am feeling it today. And I thought, well, you know, I've got to do this anyway. So why not do it? And, oh, my God, that's annoying. It's in there somewhere. Why not do this and talk to you guys at the same time, and then you get to see a bit of the process. I was going to film actually cutting these as well, but I just couldn't be bothered. Setting up the camera, filming things is May, June, no, that's right. I have to lean over there. I've got them on my desk in order, so they're not in the way over here. Yeah, filming things sounds like, filming everything sounds easy and not time consuming at all. You just put a camera up and stick, you bastard, and film stuff, right? Well, yeah, sure, but you also have to make sure that the camera's in the right place, that you've got decent lighting, and so on and so forth. And then not only that, is that once you're finished, you also then have to edit the videos. And editing, like most YouTubers will tell you, or anyone who makes any sort of video content, that the editing takes longer than anything else. It takes way longer than the filming. So I was just watching the latest Sir 6 stream. You probably, if you don't watch atheist content creators, and you probably don't know who that is, he is an atheist content creator. Yeah, and he's just talking about, you know, how much time he's been sick. Funnily enough, Sir Sick has been sick. And he's just saying that, you know, he's talking about how editing and how much it takes out of him and blah, blah, blah. And I thought, you know, it's so right. I don't mind filming. I don't mind setting up the camera. Although, you know, my house is generally messy, which is, it's not necessarily embarrassing, but it's just, it just is what it is. There's a hair. I can see this hair. I don't know if it's on the top or the bottom. Oh my God. I think it's on the bottom, which means if it's between the sticker, if it's between the lettering and here, it'll stick to this. If it's just between the lettering and this, it's okay. So I'm gonna have to get, I like to have everything within reach. Let me get a pair of tweezers. And this light is also a magnifying glass, which is quite handy for someone who's blind. Now I'm just gonna as long as I don't touch the back of the letters, it's okay. No, I still can't get it. I actually think it's one of Sox's furs. Of course it's one of Sox's furs because, you know. Oh, I tell you what. Oh, yep, no, that's fine. It's actually between the lettering and this, so that's fine. Alright, so let me put that up where it's not blocking. Where am I filming? Here it is, isn't it? That's blocking your view. How about that? Actually, that's better. You just go up there. Can you lean back a bit? You can. Alright, let's try that. That works for me, and it looks like it works better for you. Alright. So yeah, so I have my little template here, and it's just got like a line so that I can line it up, and then a line in the middle so that I know where the middle of the tab is, just so that they look, I mean, they're never going to be perfect because they're handmade. If anyone's expecting perfect with handmade things, they really need to understand what handmade means, because handmade, yep, no, fur's gone. Yep, fur's still on there, it's all good. Handmade means handmade, it does not mean machine made. So yeah, so it was quite interesting to realise that I have not been this alone for a really, really long time. Because I mean, Boogs was been 24 this year, and I got him when Kurt was in kindy, because we got him off his kindy teacher, which is here in Australia, kindy or kindergarten is basically their first year at school. They do go to preschool, well, some kids go to preschool, not all kids. It's a good way to get them socialised, get kids socialised, and, you know, in a sort of a classroom structure before they actually have to go to school, and it be like foreign to them. All my kids loved preschool. But yeah, so we got Boogs when Kurt was in kindy, so he was 5 when he went to, most kids are 5 when they go to kindy, I'm pretty sure. And there's another one, Soxy fur. I'm not gonna, there's another one. There's another one here that's actually sticky taped. Oh, no, that's not stuck. Yeah, so before I had Jared, who is my eldest. He's 30, it's 25, so he's 36 this year. So, and before I had him, I lived up the Gold Coast, and I had flatmates before that. So before I moved up the Gold Coast, I had a flatmate that I moved to the Gold Coast with for a while. Can't remember how long we were flatmates for, but it was only before that I lived alone. So yeah, so it's been a while. I actually didn't realise, because I feel like with humans, like I have lived without humans a bit. Like once the kids all moved out, you know, before Curtis moved back in, the couple of times that he moved back in, I have lived alone, but I have always had the cats. So yeah, it's a bit of a minute. I heard a cat meow last night, and I just instantly thought it was Socks. And then I heard, let's see, I don't know if you'll be able to pick this up on the camera, but I heard, that's not quite the sound. I don't know how to make the sound. Let me see if I can make the sound. I don't know if you can hear that, but it's like a little tap on tiles. Or as I used to call it, little tinks, because that's what Soxy would do. He'd go tink, 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 because he had overgrown nails. When he walked down the hallway, he would go tink, 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 tink as he walked. And I heard that this morning, and I just instantly looked over and thought it was him walking towards the desk, and that just sort of threw me. Like, it's been 20 years since my mum passed away, and I still go to call her sometimes to tell her things. It's been a day with Socks. So I got to tell you though, the vets were absolutely glorious. Seriously, they were so kind. I spoke to them on the phone first, obviously, to make the appointment, and they're a mobile vet, so they came here. Everything happened here. In my bed, no less, because that's where His Royal Highness did love to sleep the most. He also managed to make the vet bleed, which was hilarious, because, you know, in his last moments, I feel he'd be very proud of himself for that. I did warn her that he didn't like other people and he didn't like to be touched, and she continued to touch him, and he let her know that his mother was right. Right? So, but yeah, no, they were fantastic. The price was a bit of a shock. When I had to let Bugs go, the vets out there, I don't know why, they only charged me as much as they only charged me $100, and they came to the house as well. We buried Bugs in the backyard though, so I don't know if that's got something to do with it. But anyway, yeah, so I would have got him cremated if I could have afforded it, but as it was, with a discount, with a $55 discount, because I'm a pensioner, it was $602. $602. So I've paid them $300 because that's all I had, and I mean that's really all I have. Like, I'm not sure I'll be buying food this week. So anyway, they've sent me an account, so I'm assuming they're not going to freak out too much if I don't pay the $300 immediately, because I did tell her that I will pay it as soon as I've got it, but I just don't have it now. And she didn't seem overly worried, although I got the invoice before they'd left the driveway, so I don't know. I'll find the $300. I don't know where I'm going to find it from, but I'll figure it out, mate. I might have to just have a look through what I've got here at home and find some things to sell, maybe. I don't know, I've still got my 2 3D printers for sale and no one's buying them. It's because everyone's pretty broke at the moment, because cost of living is so expensive you can't really afford to do much of anything else other than buy food, and a lot of us can't even afford that. Anyway, doesn't matter. It had to be done. He was in a lot of pain, and she said that I'd made the right decision, which I mean, it's always nice to hear a vet say that. She said, I don't think you've made the call too soon. She said, but I also don't think you've made the call too late either, because I was a bit worried that because I was being selfish. When you make that call, oh, come off the desk. It's hard not to be selfish. He had a couple of really, really bad days last week. And I hope you guys don't mind listening to me talk about Soxy, because I don't really have I have a few people I could talk to, but like Kerry and Lee and Bree. But I don't. I mean, Bree's going through her own emotional shit. I don't want to bother Kerry and Lee. Kerry's also going through some shit at the moment, so I don't really want to bother them. I feel like I whinge to them all of the time. So you guys get it this time. Sucked in. He had a couple of really bad days. I've been putting it off. I've been talking about this since before Christmas, right? And I put it off because I had Boogs went that weird week between Christmas and New Year's. So this time of year is always shit anyway, right? Because it's what, the 7th today? Yep, the 7th. And I thought, well, maybe that week's pretty shit anyway. Maybe I'll make the call then. But I didn't. I put it off. And then on Monday, which was yesterday, I was like, he had a couple of really, really, really bad days, and I'm like, that's it. You can't put this off anymore. It's cruel and selfish. I knew I was being selfish. So I thought, that's it. First thing Monday morning, I'm going to call. Anyway, so yesterday rocks around, and I'm like, I can't do it. I can't. He's my best mate. I can't lose him. I don't care how selfish it is. This is what I was going through my head. I don't care how selfish it is. I can't lose him. He's my mate, blah, blah, blah. I won't know what to do without him. So I went back to bed, because that's the easiest way to just not deal with things, isn't it? It's just to go back to bed. So I went back to bed and I slept until just before 12 o'clock, lunchtime. And I went, no, you're being an asshole. So I made the call. And they said, look, we can fit you in late this afternoon, or it'll have to be Friday. And was I tempted to leave it until Friday? Very, very much so. I even said that. And then I said, no, you know what? I'm not going to be selfish. Let's book it in for this afternoon. Because he was mostly asleep yesterday, to be honest. So, if he's sleeping, he's having a good day. That's what I reckon. If I'm sleeping, I'm having a good day. So that was the sort of, and then, he was asleep on my bed when they turned up. And they said, well, we can do it right here if that's his favourite place. And I said, well, yeah, it's always been his favourite place is my bed. So, and because that's a place that he didn't always get to be. Like, sometimes I would just get sick of the fluff. Because he's a very fluffy cat. Was a very fluffy cat. And I get sick of changing my bloody sheets and shit because they're covered in fur. Anyway, so since we've been living here, I kind of let go of that a little bit. Just, fine, sleep in the bed, I don't give a shit. I'll sleep in the fur, whatever. So he's been sleeping in the bed a lot more since we've lived here. Anyway, the vet sat on the bed. We gave him a sedative, calmed him down because he was, he got the shits, because that's right, she was patting him. I said, he's going to get the shits, he's going to hit you or bite you. Anyway, he got the shits and swung at her, and then got off the bed and got under the bed, because he has been enjoying under the bed, because I bought a bed frame, because I put this mattress on the floor because he had a hard time jumping up on the bed. And I thought, oh, I'll just put the mattress on the floor, then I'll sell the bed. That's fine. So I did that. But then I noticed that he was still jumping up on the arm of the lounge, okay? And I thought, well, you know, if he's doing that, then maybe he could jump. If I just get like a really low bed frame, it also might help a bit with the heat, because I've been going through a lot of hot flushes lately. Well, thankfully that's gone again. We'll see how we go this time. So yeah, so I bought a really low bed frame, and it's raised up off the floor about probably about that high, I guess. It's not very high. Because I have a really, really big mattress. Oh no, that C's not stuck. So that's been his new place that he's quite enjoyed sleeping, is underneath the bed, because it's like kind of cozy down in there. So I found him down there quite a few times. Anyways, yeah, so he got off the bed, got under the bed, and by this time he was cranky, because there's two strangers in his house, and one of them keeps touching him. I did warn her. I did warn her numerous times. So anyway, she'd given him a sedative before he jumped under the bed, just to chill him out a little bit, and it didn't chill him out that much. I lured him out from under the bed with some treats. So he got some treats, his favourite treats, which are the Temptations. I don't know, Fussy Cat or someone make them, but he's always liked those. So I managed to con him out. He was having a bit of a hard time walking, like the sedative had quite kicked in by that point. So I just picked him up, put him on the bed, actually laid him on a towel, because I knew from Boogly that sometimes when they go, like with any animal, you can sometimes just lose fluids. That's the politest way I can think to put it. And yeah, no, he was still being feisty. She kept trying to touch him. I'm like, he doesn't like people touching him. And she kept touching him. Oh no, she tried to get him out from under the bed and he bit her. That's right, yeah. Like actually, like in it, like she was bleeding and everything. That's why I had to lure him out with the treats. And then they gave him a second bit of sedative because he's just being himself, which I thought was friggin' hilarious. I did tell them. All right, done. There you go. So there's a full 2 sets of thingamy-bobbers. There you go. So 2 of those. The pages are all cut. The covers are done. Yeah, it's all ready to go. So I might actually take you over, because I'm still talking, I guess, and I'll show you how I put the planners together, because I don't think I've ever done that before either. So I guess this is going to be a work with me video. Why not? All right, let's go. Moving on. Woo, dickhead. Yeah, so this is where I do things. Things. I don't want to stand on the cold floor. Alright, so I have these all set. So we've got a purple dragon, we have a pastel abstract, and I also have a soap with Wicked Lee to do. So, and they all get done with this. But the covers of the planners have to be done separately because they're a different size. But what I do is, I used to cut these month by month, but these ones I've cut in one hit and they come out really good. So I'll be probably doing that from now on, because cutting them one by one is such a pain in the ass. Good Lord, it's hot. It's this side of the room. It's also the middle of summer. Well, it's not the middle. Alright, so what I do is I go through and I separate these purely because it's easier. This doesn't punch through a lot of pages. You can usually only do 6 of this thicker paper. If it's just like normal, oh, I didn't do that, I did that on a thicker one as well. Normal like 80 GSM copy paper I can go through 10, but this, so it actually says 10, whereas these, the maximum I can do is 6, so it's easier just to, if I just section it all out to begin with, I will do half of a month per punch, and then I'll just go through April. Oh no, that's all right. So this is it's tedious, and I spend quite a few hours on these things. So if you think they're expensive at $45, don't plan on buying one next year, because they will not be $45 next year. They will be more. I didn't put them up this year because I don't know why I didn't, but I've just discovered just literally how much work, because everything, literally everything in this has my hands on it in some way, whether it's the pages being printed and then having to be cut, the covers I hand make completely, like this piece of, just a piece of plain grey card inside here. So this is printed, then they have to be cut to the right size, and I cut these by hand, you know, so, you know, these literally take hours each, which is why I've got 3 to 5 days listed on the website for how long they take. But anyway, yeah, so while this may be tedious, this also makes it kind of easier when I get to the page punching part. Alright, so yeah, so once he got his second dose of sedative, he was off chops, mate. His pupils were like he was stoned. The most relaxed he'd been. It was so nice. I get to give him lots of pats, and then he got a little leg shave and got his catheter in, and then yeah, the only part of it that I was that sort of annoyed me a little bit, and that is the lady, the vet. She was the actual vet, the guy was the nurse. I'm going to put these like this, and I'm going to put those on top because I've got 2. I don't want to mess up the insides, but because, like I said, these have to be done separately to the pages because of the size difference. So I'm going to do the covers first because it's easier to lay things over, which you'll see. Yeah, no, she said, did you want to do a blessing, or do you want me to do a blessing? I said, well, we don't need any blessings of any kind. I'm an atheist. I don't believe in any of that. I said, I'm just happy for him to go, just because, you know, death is a part of life. I mean, it's the final boss, really. But yeah, she was a little bit insisty and said, oh, well, I'll give him a blessing. And that kind of annoyed me because this is my pet, my beliefs, my house. So that kind of annoyed me a little bit. And, you know, it's her job to do what she came to do, whereas this was my pet. So it literally should have been about me and not how she was feeling. But anyway, it is what it is. And like, okay, I understand that a lot of people would say, well, it doesn't hurt you. I'm like, no, it doesn't hurt me. That's fine. But it's like, it's the same as someone giving me thoughts and prayers. I don't want your prayers. I don't need them. They mean nothing to me. You keep that to yourself, sort of thing, you know? So, anyway. But anyway. It didn't diminish the day really at all. It was only afterwards when I thought about it. I sort of thought, well, that was kind of a little pushy, but whatever. But apart from that, they were absolutely lovely. She gave me a big hug, which was really nice. And her nurse, who is Spanish, he's been here for 20 years or something. He had the best accent. But he was sweet. He smiled a lot and was like, when I rang them, I spoke to him on the phone and he was so nice. As soon as he heard why I was ringing, he immediately just went into sympathy mode, which was really nice. Like, these guys have awesome reviews on Google anyway. So yeah, that was yesterday. I don't think I really processed. I had a bit of a cry yesterday. I'm not one for crying, except when I was on the estrogen last time. And I just cried all friggin' time over everything and nothing. Now I'm on the estrogen again, but I'm also having progesterone as well, so I don't feel quite as cryy. I'm not a fan of crying, really. I don't know, just not. It doesn't help. I'm absolutely depressed as shit and miss him something terrible, but crying doesn't change that. We'll have more cries, of which I have absolutely no doubt, but yeah. For right now, I'm too busy standing here sweating my friggin' hole out because it's very, very hot. Very, very hot. Oh, that's what I wanted to say. Thank you to all of you who have bought the bloody bullet journal from Amazon. Like, I've sold like 27 copies. 27 copies. I've only sold 11 planners. So yeah, so very happy about that. No, let's not do that. Let's do that and that. So also make sure that they're closed, because if they're like this, what will happen is I will do that and then I'll do that, and then that means this is on the wrong friggin' side. So I have learnt my lesson. Way learnt my lesson. Alright, so what I'm going to do, let's do this. Oh God almighty. Lost me back page. I'm going to put that over there. And these are all, unfortunately, we have a lot of leftovers from cutting out the tabs, but there's not much I can do about that. I don't know what to do with this. I could probably fit a bookmark in here, maybe, but yeah. Oh, Jesus, it's hot. It's looking a bit stormy out there, and that's the west, so fingers crossed. They did give us storm warnings today, so. Alright, so I have to line this up specifically. I don't worry about using this for the covers. Oh, this is why the covers are not any thicker than they are, because this is as thick as it'll go through. So now I can put that on the top and see this is the correct way. So like I said, if it was turned over the other way, I would just not think about it and I would just stuff it up. Because I've done it before. Alright. Alright, so that one's ready to go. And then I'm going to do the same with this one. Yep. So I was line it up with the 30. Oh, I would love an electric one of these, but they're worth thousands. So it's not going to happen. I mean, I'd like to farm. Honestly, I would like to get these made by a manufacturer, but like I said, I've sold 11. And they're dated. So if I found someone who would do a minimum order of 100, which I could, There are some manufacturers that do minimum order of 100. That means that I would not have made my money back on them because 450, say I've made $500 on these, but it would probably cost me $1,000 to get 100 of these. So yeah, definitely would not make my money back. All right, these are brilliant. These I just have to line up as A4, and I'm going to use my tab stock with these because the cover is exactly the same size because it's just an A4. Yep. All right, as usual, laminate. What I have to do, you can see, I don't know if you can see these little ones here. Ooh. I will go through and trim these. I've got a little, actually I'll get it now and do it. I probably won't even edit this. So yeah, there's just little side clippers that come with 3D printers. They're brilliant because I can get them right up against the edge. And I'll just clip that out. It just happens sometimes to some of them. And then like that. What I might do though, while I'm thinking about it, oh no, it's nice and colourful from the covers. I've often thought if I punched more colourful things, I'd keep those and I'd put them in resin, in jewellery or something. Alright, so what I normally do with things like this is I will 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then I'm now just going to go through and punch my holes, and that's how I go. 3, 4, 5. I usually count them. I don't know, just I'm not a good judge of distances or thickness apparently. So if I just grab it and try to have a guess, it's always too much. So this is not going to be very exciting, is it? Oh, and I've lost count. I'm just going to move all this over a bit. A way of making soap is called room temperature. That doesn't really make sense. One of the ways to make soap is using room temperature. No, that doesn't really make sense either. No, never mind. I have a plan for this. I'll tell you this and then we'll just set this to, oh, so I guess I am editing. Set this to music or something. But I have a plan for the soap book. I don't know if it will happen. I have a lot of plans that never happen. I think what I might do is take out all of the images because I like all my photography in here. I actually did all the photography, so I'm pretty proud of it, and the design. But I'm also thinking I might take all that out and it just be text with just a few photos and turn it into an A5 bound book with handmade covers, kind of like the planners, but I'm thinking more like with a proper hard cover with a spine, because I want to get into bookbinding anyway. So that might just be on the cards. We'll see. It'll be more expensive because it's going to be one of those things that will take time. Like this book is what, $20 is it? I think I charged $20, isn't it? $9.95 for the PDF and $19.95 for this. I don't actually know. God forbid I remember the prices of my things. No, that's why I have it written down, so I don't have to remember. That's what I tell people at the markets. They say, how much is something? I said, I don't know, where's the price out there? And they kind of look at me and say, I can't remember. I have far too many things going on in my head to remember anything. Thank you. That's one of the worst parts and that I think a lot of people who don't have any sort of mental health issues or neurodivergent in any way, it's quiet in your head, isn't it? When it's not quiet in your head and there's constant chatter and constant ideas, it's very hard to remember everything all of the time. So yeah, all right, well, I'm going to shut up. Surprise. Did you like my shirt? Speaking of mental health. Yep, I'm going to shut up and we'll do this for a while and then we'll come back. Again, little ones that need to be trimmed off. So what I was thinking is I won't put you through watching me do the holes for the planners, because it's just exactly the same as what I did before, except a little more scary, because the A4s are fine, you've got room, it doesn't matter if your little tab moves a little bit, it's not a drama. But with the planners, I'll show you before I turn the video off, but the planners, because of the size and because of this, I have to be really, really specific. I'll show you. So with a more expensive one of these, you will have, like, there'll be a little knob here for every single cutter, whereas this one is a cheap one, cheap as in $300, not $900. I don't have that, so I have to work within the bounds of the squares in here, right? Let me bring you in a little closer, maybe you can see. Oh, sorry. I'll just move you down to there. There you go, that works. So you can see each one of these is a square, and that's where the holes cut, right? So with the planners, what happens is the covers are not bad because, like I said, I just line it up on this side of 30, which is there, and that works out perfectly. There's enough space on both sides, because once you get to this square, there's nothing more. But when it comes to doing the actual pages, I can't do that. I have to line it up from this end, but I also need to make sure that there's enough room just on either side. If I had the expensive one, I could flip up this last one here, and then I could sort of, this would be about halfway into the next square. It's kind of hard to explain, but because I don't have the expensive one, I have to, like I said, I have to work within the range of what I've got. So what I have to do is make sure that there's a tiny bit of room on either side of those squares. And what I do is I always just punch one sheet first. And you can see how there's only just a tiny little bit of room here, and then a tiny little bit of room here. If I could do it the way I wanted, if I had the expensive one, I'd be more happy. But I mean, once you've got this many pages and they're spiral bound, they're fine. It's just, there's now no room for error whatsoever. But yeah, it's kind of hairy at times. And the worst part is, oh no, that's good. Occasionally what will happen, especially when I'm punching these, is what will happen is, let me just punch that. Sometimes when I pull this out, one of these will be stuck in there and it'll come out underneath there. And then when you go to push another couple of pages in there, this will go in and it will sort of be crooked because there's a piece, because there's a piece of paper stopping it, and then that's it. If that happens, you just have to reprint those pages. But anyway, that's what I'm doing now, and that's what I'll do with both these planners. And then once the planners have all their holes in them, I'll have to go over to the other desk and spiral bound them, which is honestly the part that I hate the most, because it literally is the most amount of effort. Walking backwards and forwards from this desk to the computer is less effort than doing the spiral binding. So anyway, so I'm going to turn this off, and then we'll come back when I'm ready to do all the spiral binding, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so I'm well aware this is probably going to be a little louder. I apologise in advance. Just wanted to show you. I said it was a bit black out the front. I've just checked the radar. Now we are here where it says Grafton. I don't know if you can actually see that or not. Well, that just makes it worse. But yeah, Grafton is there, sort of smack bang in the middle. You can tell see it's 31 here already. Charming. All right, so now I'm going to go show you out the front. So I'm just going to go really slowly. You can just check out all my mess. You can see over here, because Soxy's claws, he wasn't grooming anymore, so his claws were really long, really sharp. He would get stuck on fabric, and he wouldn't let me cut them, although occasionally I got to cut them when he was really deeply asleep. So what I did was I just put cardboard on it. He friggin' loved it, because he'd jump up there, wouldn't get stuck on anything, and he slept in the box quite often when I had the aircon on. Yeah, so his beds are all still everywhere. Yeah, so we're going to go out the front door, and I'm just going to show you what I was talking about. That is what's coming. Oh, look, I can open the door and the cat won't get out. That's charming. There you go. So that could be interesting. Oh, Christ, it's hot out here. It's just hot everywhere. And now I'll retreat into my shell, because I can hear the next door neighbour and I want him to hear me talking to myself. Look at the mess. Look at the mess. Look at this. This is what my brains look like. No, honestly, I reckon this is what my brain looks like. So I'm working on stickers, right? This is for a video I want to do. I want to do a video working on the bullet journal, putting some stickers in it. They're the daily dot grids, which is here, which you can see I was testing my stitching, which is not going to happen now. Yeah, so look at these. How good are these? And look how well this paper takes marker. Oh, I can't open it. You can't see it on the other side. Look at this. It's fantastic. Now you can see this square down in the corner here. No, this one where I've got my thumb has got marker, but there, look there, you can't even see it. You can't even see it. So I was just trying all different colour combos. So, but January is blue for me, because for some reason I'd already put blue in here. So, but yeah, I'm also working on bookbinding tools on the 3D printer, badges that need to go on the website, stereo out of the WRX. Oh god, that's what I've got to do. The friggin' revision mirror. Managed to stay stuck in for 2 months. It's now on the driver's seat. What else? Oh, New Scientist I haven't read yet. Bree wanted some body washes, so I've got the room sprays out to remind me. I don't know why. Because I've been doing all of the planner stuff and organising a planner for to be manufactured. I've got all of this stuff, plus I have all my bullet journals. Don't ask why I have so many, because I don't have an answer for you. Yeah, and then like so you can see the colours. The bullet journals at this point I'm thinking are going to be these colours. There will be 100 of each. That's how many I have to order. I have to order 300, so it will be a citrus theme, but the insides will not be printed with colour, so you will not have to stick to that, because if you get an orange one and you want to do anything orange related, you can. If you want to do any other colour inside, you also can. Like I have, oh god, it's a long way down there. I have purple. Oh god, that's off my computer. Right, I stuck that on there. But I don't just have anything in here. Like, I don't have purple. Look, I've got orange and yellow because it doesn't matter because you're not looking at the outside while you're looking at the inside. So this also has, oh, there you go. There's a fit of temper. That's my temper. I was trying to make this, which is a Dutch door setup. And so I'm thinking in my manufactured bullet journals, I'm going to make it so that you can do a Dutch door at the start of a month. So, because this is a year at a glance. And yeah, I just think it's great. Anyway, but yeah, this is where I test all of my layouts just to see how they look. You can see they'll start in pencil. Yeah, so this is where everything starts, is in this bullet journal. And I draw it out myself to see if I like it, because there's no point just making it if I don't think I'm going to like it. Yeah, so anyway, but yeah, all these bullet journals, oh, that's such a long way down there, all have different things in them. So this one has, well, I don't even know what this one has in it. I really like this. This is actually bamboo, I think. Apparently. Oh no, this has, oh yeah, this has nice things in it. These are layouts I'm probably going to recreate for videos once the bullet journals are actually released. So yeah, so I've just been testing, like I've made these stickers. But I'm trying to show that you don't need stickers to do a layout. You can just do it yourself. Like this is just markers and a bit of watercolour paint. And a bit of watercolour paint. Yeah, and one sticker that I coloured in. And then that's all sticker. That's a sticker. These are all stickers. And then that's not. That's the only thing that's not a sticker. So, you know, I'm just, same with this. Like, this I did all myself, and then the oranges are stickers. They are stickers that are a little bit coloured in. This is all drawn, and then they've just got 2 stickers. So there's, you know, there's just ways to do things where you don't have to purchase any extra if you don't want to, but if you want to, so this is a space theme, so that's a sticker that I coloured. That's a sticker that I coloured, and the rest is all drawn in. This is done with pencils. That's done with a marker. These headings are done with marker and pencil. The tracker's done with pencil. And I think that's pretty much it, yeah. So yeah, so, and so on and so forth. All these things, like one of them's got all the movies I want to watch and all the books I want to read. Yeah, so, why am I here? What am I doing? Oh yeah, I started talking about the bullet journals. Like I said before, I'm literally just waiting on Bree to pay me for the car, to have the money to get the bullet journals, and then that will go into effect. They go into, they have time off from the 26th of January until the 3rd of February or something for Chinese New Year. So as that indicates, my manufacturer is Chinese. I'm not hiding that. I don't have a problem with that at all. I'm looking at the stop button instead of the camera. I apologise. Yeah, so it will be nice to get them in and get them manufacturing before then, but because I think the printing, they said 20 days for printing, and then it's another 30 to 40 days for it to get from there to here, because it comes via ship rather than air, because it's a lot cheaper. So if I don't get it done before Chinese New Year, and it's already the 7th now, so it's unlikely, unless I got in there this week, and I haven't even finalised my design yet, to be honest. It won't get printed before Chinese New Year, which means it won't be finalised printing until February, start of February. So I won't have them until March, which is just, it's frustrating because all it's stopping me is that money at this point. So, but I have the non-dated bullet journal uploaded to Amazon. It's going through review at the moment. Unfortunately, I have decided that I don't want cream paper. Let me show you. Get all the stickers out of the way. This one has cream paper, right? Because bullet journals are generally cream. But I have decided, yeah, I guess that's cream. This one's white. I've decided that I really like the bright white rather than, there you go, you can actually, oh you can't, there you go. See the difference? Like this is an off-white and this is a bright white. And I like the bright white a lot, and it works really well with stickers as well. Like, where is one? Yeah, like, you see that sticker? Like, you don't see, because it has a white edge around the sticker, you don't see that in a white book. But once I put some stickers in this, you're really going to see it, because white is a lot different than the cream. I have no idea what that is. That's something I woke up and drew because that was beside my bed. Oh, hang on, I know what that is. That's to hang stuff for clothing. It's like an end piece. I know what it is. Yeah, so because it's in review, I can't change anything, and even if when it comes out of review and it's approved, I still can't change anything, so I'm going to have to delete it from Amazon and then re-upload it, change it to white, like set it so that it goes with white paper rather than cream, because for some reason once it's been approved you can't change it from cream to white. I've tried it with everything that I've got on there. I've got a lot of things on Amazon. None of them will let me, so I'm going to have to delete it, re-upload it, set it to paperback with white pages, go through the whole rigmarole again. Then I'll have to go into review again, which usually takes, you know, a week. So that's not going to be on Amazon for at least a week. Yeah, but I think it's worth it. I think it's worth doing. I wouldn't do it if I didn't think it was worth it. But I think because stickers are going to look better with the white paper. I've also checked the white paper in my colouring books compared to this cream paper, and I much prefer it. Like it seems like it's a bit thicker. I mean, it's not more than 80 GSM, but I think the cream paper is on the lower end, because I think it says between 54 or 64 and 80, and I think the cream paper might be a little bit lower than the white paper. So yeah, so I'm going to do that because I think it's worth it. And yeah, no, just a learning experience, I guess, more than anything. It just means I'm just going to have to wait a bit longer, but that's okay because it's undated, so it doesn't matter when it comes out because it's undated. You can start the thing in March if you really want to. So anyway, that's it. I'm gonna go punch all these holes. Look how excited I am. Punching the holes, whoops, and doing the spiral binding, the two things I absolutely hate. But like I said, I can't justify spending $1,000 to make $500 in any, even if I was rich, I still wouldn't be able to justify that. So, you know, if they were, and not to mention that, if I did 100, they would all have to have exactly the same cover and the exact same insides. So there would be no choices. You would just get the cover and the insides that they are, and that's it. So, but yeah, anyway, so, all right, I'm going to shut up now because I'm literally just waffling to put it off. Okay, so the inevitable happened. When I cut these, something has happened. Get that out of the way. These are all going in the bin, but as you can see, well, you can't yet because I'm still moving them. When I put the holes in these now, they're cut too small. The pages are a little bit too small because that's almost right to the very end. So I've got from June onwards, they're just fucked. So they're all going to go in the bin because these ones, like you can see, they're pretty close, but they're okay. So I'm not overly worried. But the thing I was noticing was when I lined the holes up, how much bigger the dividers are. You see how much bigger they are? They shouldn't be. They should be the same size. And then, yeah, it just got to the point where they just started cutting through on the ends. So I've had to print. So I'm now printing from June onwards again. So this one's not going to get done. It's also, it's like, I don't know, 5:30, I think. Oh, Jesus. So the storm still isn't here. And I was filming like 3 hours ago. I'll show you what. It's close. We might get some. You can see that leading edge is coming up towards Grafton, but you never know. I'm currently playing Dome Keeper because I've just got the shits. Because I'll go down in here into the darkness. Ooh. Like I said, oh, I'm currently printing. Oh, fuck. That's what scared me. It's a gecko. I have lots of geckos in this house. I don't mind them, but every now and then they just scare the shit out of me. So we're up to November, but I'm done for the day. So yeah. I haven't fixed my hair. Ooh, went dark. Yeah, I'm done. It's like I said, it's, I don't know what time it is. What time is it? Oh yeah, 5:24. So I was hoping to get those in the post in the morning, but that's not going to happen. So, yeah, I was just talking to Bree. I can put that down, actually. I can. Look at that. I can put that down. Step back here. Yeah, I was just talking to Bree. She still hasn't got Miss Swifty. She says she's found one. I know she's holding out trying to find one with cruise control for me because my back is so bad. Well, because I have a bad back, but driving without cruise control is quite painful for me. And if I did want to go back to work, I would need cruise control. So I'm sure that's on her mind, although I don't plan on going back to work. I'm not missing it. And also she's like, well, you know, I don't have 8 hours to just go and look at a car randomly. So, yeah, so I started to explain to her that I feel like my life is just on hold at the moment because I have a car I don't want. I've got no money to do what I want. But those things are available to me. So I don't know why this is so dark. It's kind of weird. Why is it so dark? I don't know. It's not that dark in here. Anyway, yeah, so it's also I feel like everything's sort of just stalled, and then plus with Soxy yesterday, it's sort of like, I'm just not feeling it. I also, just for interest's sake, in case you don't know, or did I already mention it? I'm pretty sure I already mentioned this. Did I already mention this? I'm sure I mentioned it to someone. Araldite. Well, Araldite is a brand, so actually, like, 2-part epoxy. Lasts for about 2 months in summer in Australia, holding a windscreen, a rear view mirror on your windscreen. I've just cleaned it up. I might go out and stick that back on now and leave that overnight, because it's better if it doesn't have that boiling hot sun, I think, to because this doesn't need sun to cure, because it just cures by itself. You just stick it on with the epoxy and then just tape it up until the epoxy cures, because the epoxy only takes 20 minutes or something. So, but yeah, it's very annoying. I know if I just took it to a windscreen place, they'd do it and it would last forever, but they probably also charged me like $100, and I don't have $100. Like, I thought the dude was coming to mow today, and I was like, I don't know where I'm going to get $50 from to pay him. So yeah, it's a bit like that. It's like, I don't know what to do about this vet, but the vet. I'll tell you this before I go. The vet, which is an email, just messaged me before. It was so nice, just checking in to see how you are. We've been thinking about you, hoping that your grief passes swiftly and can be replaced by all the happy memories of your 20 years with socks. He's now interred on a beautiful hill and has seen a full sunset and sunrise, one of many more to come. Thank you for letting us help you with such a momentous event. It is always both gratifying and heartbreaking to be able to help pet lovers through such an incredibly sad journey. Take care, and please know we are thinking of you in all your sadness and colour. The colour bit was good. Be still and enjoy the peace that comes with deep grieving. With love, Louisa and Francisco. So, I mean, how sweet was that? Like, that, I mean, they didn't have to do that. See, this is the sort of thing, I mean, I wish I was a better, not business person, just person in general probably. I wish I could be that thoughtful. Like, that's stupidly thoughtful. Now, I mean, now it sort of makes sense why they have such good reviews on Google. So, of which I will add. So, is it going brighter and darker, or is it just me? I don't know. No, it's actually going. I just stand here and do this because I'm weird. Alright, now I'm going to go. I'm going to keep my fingers crossed the edge of the storm is here. So let me turn this around. We'll go and have a look, because it doesn't matter if we leave the door open because Oxy can't get out. Oh, yeah, no, I can hear it. Whoop, whoop, we're locked in. Oh, it smells good. Someone's having a barbie. Whoa, that smells really good. Oh, very nice. That's moving pretty quick too. Oh, a little dragonfly. Where'd it go? Oh, it's gone. Interesting. Ah. I don't want to stay out there because the neighbours think I'm weird enough as it is, I think. Well, I don't know. I think I'm weird, so look at my dirty house again. Alright, okay. Bye. Hello. It's a whole other day. After I finished up on Tuesday afternoon, got a little sad and went to bed, and Wednesday when I got up I just couldn't do anything. Yeah, it was a pretty bad day yesterday, so I didn't do anything. I feel really bad because I have 2 orders to fulfill, but I think they would understand if they knew what was going on. But so I did basically, like, literally nothing. I just sat and stared into space for a lot of the day yesterday, which is unlike me. Yeah, so anyway, so yesterday was I packed some stuff in a box. I tried a lot of times to do a lot of things, but I'd do 5 minutes or something and then that would be the end of me. So anyway, before we get stuck into work today, my hair's a little bit better. That's how I woke up this morning. So I want to explain something that I think a lot of people don't understand, because a lot of people tend to not be able to understand 3D shapes and 3D space. So I have my representation here, which is a Christmas ball, but let's pretend that it's just a ball, right? So we're ignoring that I have anything in my hand. It's just a ball, okay? Now, this ball, you would say, has no top, no bottom, no sides, right? It's just a ball. Like, any of part of it can be the top or the bottom or the sides, right? It's just a ball. It's round. So, okay, if I said to you, all right, this is the top, right? We could all say, fine, sure, we'll take a poll. This is now the top. So that makes this the bottom and these the sides. But if you sort of walk away and come back and go, oh, that must have been the top. Pretty sure that's where it was. It's not. But you can say that. Do you understand what I'm saying? There is no top, to a circular ball that doesn't have the little thing on the end. This doesn't have a top or a bottom. It just has an inside and an outside, right? That That's what we can say about this ball, is it has an inside and an outside. Other than that, depending on how you look at it, if you look at it that way, you could say this is the top. If you look at it that way, you could say that's the top. You look at it that way, you could say that's the top. Look at it that way, you could say so on and so forth, right? Does that make sense? Tell me that makes sense. So it doesn't have a top and a bottom. It's a ball. It can't have a top and a bottom. It's perfectly circular. It has no top and bottom. It's round. All right. So now apply that exact same principle to this. Right. Now this is not a dig at flat earthers. This is just, a lot of people don't understand that the earth does not have a top or a bottom. Right. So the general consensus is that the top of the earth is here, right? And here's the bottom of the earth, because top is the North Pole, bottom is the South Pole, right? That's just because we humans have agreed to that. There is no top and there is no bottom, because it's out floating around in space. Now, if you're out in a spaceship and it was like this when you approached it, you could say this was the top, right? It's not. None of it is the top and none of it is the bottom. Oh, look at this here. This is the best part. So when you get a little confused, or when you hear people talking about, you know, people in Australia being upside down, we're not upside down. Especially when you look at a globe, we're more on the side than we are. We're not down here, and even if we were down here, we would not be upside down. Okay? Because the only thing you can say about this is there's an inside and an outside. There's no top, there's no bottom, there's no sides. It's a ball. Right? So if things had worked out differently, we may have all agreed that this is how the earth is orientated. The way the way the ball is orientated is in relation to the sun, right? That's it. That's the only reason why it gets a top and a bottom. Other than that, it doesn't have a top and a bottom. So at any given time, you can be on the top of the planet, on the bottom of the planet, on the side of the planet. The inside here is the middle of the planet, right? Right in the very center, in that core, is the center of the planet. Everything is going outwards from that. So if I'm standing here, which I currently am, I'm on top of the planet, I'm on the bottom of the planet, I'm on the side of the planet, right? Depending on how you look at the planet from outer space. So there's no top and there's no bottom and there's no sides. It's just a ball. It's just a ball. Right. So going on with that, if you can wrap your head around that, there's no way you can go, if you travel off Earth and head outwards, you can't find the center of the universe. There is no center where the Big Bang started, because, see, I love science and I love cosmology especially, but the universe is expanding all of the time, right? So if you go in any direction trying to find something, it's moving away from you. So there's no middle. There's just more and more and more space. So I don't know if that resonates with anyone, but to me, I just think that's absolutely cool that there's no sort of, you can't go anywhere and go, oh, here's where space started, because that isn't anywhere anymore. Like, because the start is the outside. Does that make, because I sometimes feel like I don't explain things very well, but because everything, time, space and matter, started with a singularity, which is not as big as my fists, all right? And so this is it. And then as it rapidly expanded, everything was inside here, right? So the outer edges are the outside of that singularity. So as that expands, this is the universe, right? This is what's happening. So in here is where all the stuff is. This is where all the atoms began forming protons, or vice versa. I'm not very sciencey. And then, you know, all the gases and all that stuff, and then they started forming everything else and stars and so on, and as it happened. But it all is happening inside here. So this outer shell, it's not a shell, I'm just calling it that, is the beginning of the universe. So if you want to get to where the Big Bang happened, you have to get to this shell. The problem with that is the universe is continually expanding. So there's no middle of the universe where everything expanded out from, because the outside is what the thing is that you're looking for, if you're thinking of it like that. So anyway, okay, so it's early. I had a good night's sleep, so obviously I've had a lot of sciencey things on my brain. So we're going to get stuck in. I haven't cut the paper yet. Been a bit. I didn't have the mental capacity to do it yesterday, so we might go and do that now. I'm a bit worried that I'm going to cut it and screw it up again, but let's just go do it anyway, eh? Okay, so this is quite possibly one of the most awkward places to film. I also cannot make the lighting any better because there's only one light in here. I'm not dragging in lights to light the room because my back is sore and I just don't have the want or the need. Okay, so this is June until December in here, and I'm going to clip it so it doesn't move, although it won't move once it's in this, but I need to make sure that it goes in that straight. So I put it on the ends that's going to cut and clip the ends that don't get cut, because for this size we cut the top and the side. So the top edge is behind you. So I have jigs that I have made myself. They've got little things that hold them on this bar here. So that sits there like that, and then this comes through and pushes up against that. And then I wind me squishy thing, which I'm sure has an actual name, but for me it's just a squishy thing. Now I have to have it tight enough so this doesn't move. And I move this so that this can move, because when the blade cuts, it'll push the paper that way. And then that way this will be perfectly straight. We hope it will be perfectly straight. And the same thing won't happen again, but you never know. Look at all those ways. I hate this more than anything, is this all this waste of paper. But I mean, there's not very much you can do about it. Alright, so this one is for the side edge. Same thing, it's got a little edge on it so it holds, doesn't move. So I can line up my pages. And then I'll put that in there. Again, move this. Do that up tighter so it doesn't move. It's pretty hefty. And then we're gonna hope that it cuts straight and that it's okay. The only thing I don't like about this is it does, I don't know if you can see that, it gives it a little lip just here, which I could put a piece of card on top of here, I guess, but then that dulls the blade quicker. For some reason the card dulls the blade quicker than paper. All right, we're going to go move over to the hole punch now. I won't bore you with doing all of them, but I need to double check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to make sure that they're now cut properly. Oh, that was a hell of a sigh of relief, wasn't it? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn these over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just to double check and make sure that it cut correctly all of the way through. And yeah, that's perfect. All right. Oh, thank God I can get these done. Get down to the post office today. Beautiful. All right, well, I'm not going to bore you with this shit. We'll get that done and then we'll do the binding and then I'll be ready. Hello, from another weird angle. What's that? Oh, never mind. Okay, so I find this the most challenging part of putting these together, probably because I've done it wrong more than once. Not wrong, but if you're not careful, you can miss the month dividers, and if you miss the month dividers, you have to unbind it and start all over again. So it's not pleasant. I have my awl, which is just a cheap plasticky one from, I don't know, Amazon probably. I've had it for a very long time. I can already see that I have missed December because it's crooked. So I like to line up this end with the awl because I'm going to start spiral binding from this end. So if I've got the other end lined up, then things should be all right. So what I do with these is, because it's all completely curled, exactly the same curl, I like to just straighten this out just a little bit. It's just a little bit easier if it goes in a little bit straighter. Also, if I knew where my clips were, these are very sharp when you first get them, so I like to just blunt it down a little bit so it doesn't cut up the paper. I'm going to put that back in there, and what I will now do is put probably 2 spirals through. So you've just got to just gently coax it in. I don't know, can you see what I'm doing? You can kind of see what I'm doing. Sometimes it helps to pick everything up and thread it on, especially when you get to like the last couple of pages. It just doesn't really want to go because it's curly, which is why I give it that, just that little bit of straightening. Did you just go? This is probably one of the most awkward ones I've done in a while. Oh my goodness, what is going on? Okay, yeah. It's just going to be one of those days. I've actually cut it. Oh, it's because I was using the wrong friggin' end, righto, dickhead. Okay, whatever. Okay, so this is way out of alignment now. Christ. yeah, I don't have my wits about me this week, which, you know, I feel like that's pretty understandable. So I'm not going to be too hard on myself about it. There we go. There we go, straight through. So what I'll do is I'll go through a second time now. So both ends are caught. So what I will do is I'm going to stand it up and then I'm going to pull on all of the months to make sure that they're caught, because trust me, it was traumatic enough that I do this every time. So they're all caught, which is great. So what I do now is I get this and take that out. I'd sit this just beyond the edge of the table. I will move you. And then I have these, which are just shopping, just price cards from the markets. And then what I'm going to do is just hold it steady so that I can just now go through. Also push this back a little bit so it's a bit more curly. Let's see if I can't bring you over a bit closer so you can see what I'm doing. And then here we go. Sometimes this goes really, really quickly with very little effort. See how, like, I'm just turning it and it's all just turning and doing its own thing. Sometimes it does this and fools me into thinking it's going to do this all of the time with all of them, or even just all of the way. I have had one or two that just are really easy to thread like this. Usually it's the ones that have a mistake, like a page that's not, you know, in the right spot or whatever. It looks like everything's pretty good, so we're just gonna roll with it at this point. It's getting a little harder now to thread, to get it to move upwards, but all I'm doing is I'm just rolling it in my hands, so you can see that I'm just rolling it and then rolling it upwards. You can actually get a machine to do this, which again is very expensive, which is why I don't have one. If I was making hundreds of these, I wouldn't. I'd have them manufactured, but if I was making hundreds of these, I'd buy the machine to do this, because you sort of sit it on it and it rotates and pushes, and it just goes and it's done. So, but anyway, so like I said, when I say these are handmade, I really mean they're handmade. There is not a single thing on here that hasn't had my hands on it at some point, changing it in one way or another. So the undated ones, what I've decided I'm going to do is I'm going to put the dividers into them, but I'm not going to put the month on them. I will include a little sticker set, so you can stick your months on in whatever. Like, say you start your planner in August, which I don't know why I keep going to August, but for some reason, just say you decide you want to start a new planner in August, you can actually put August on your first divider. So I just thought that was a good way to still include the dividers, but have them be useful, because I didn't want them to just be useless. Because, you know, what's the point of including something if it's useless? So I woke up with a couple of good ideas for the bullet journal this morning. I'm still waiting on the bullet journal to go through Amazon. It's still in review. It's been in review since last week. It's now Thursday, so maybe someone there lost their pet as well and they're having a bad day, who knows. So I keep watching for that so that I can delete it immediately and start all over again. Alright, so now that we're close enough, I'm going to take my awl out. I need a better awl than that. That thing's useless, but actually no, I don't need a better awl because I've decided I'm not doing the stitching on the books anyway, because I've tried it and I don't like it. Here's the thing, I like machine stitching on notebooks, but I don't. I used to have an industrial sewing machine, which I would have been able to do it, and I used to have a heavy duty sewing machine, but I sold that because I was never using it. And I don't want to use the sewing machine that I have now to sew through paper, so that's not going to happen. All right, so that's it. So now I've just sort of make sure that it's all reasonably even. I'm going to take this off and then just go through, make sure all the pages are all doing their thing, which it looks like they are, so I'm not seeing anything that's out of place. So what was that? Oh, there's the bottom one. So I always like to put one under here because this is a little pointy and I don't want to put any marks on this, which I haven't, so that's good. I do like this cover. I like all the covers, honestly. So I have deleted a few covers. Oh, I'm actually going to have to get my snippers. Yeah, I have uploaded some new covers and I have deleted a few of the other covers because it was clear that no one was interested in those. So I removed those, and then also I'm making matching notebooks to go with these. So the covers that I can match the notebooks with are the covers that we will keep. All right, so I've just trimmed that, and they are trimmed, you can see, a little bit excessively. So I will now take this, bend it up like that, and then I'll do exactly the same on this side, which is always awkward because I'm left-handed. Oh, excuse me. That. And then that's it, that's done. It's all done and beautiful. Did I put these in the right order? I did. I would not put it past me to put them in the wrong order. So yeah, that's it. That's how they get done. I've got to do the other one. I could do the book while we chat, if you like. Well, you don't have a choice. I haven't actually done one of these in so long because no one's bought a bound one. I've sold a few PDFs, but not very many of the bound ones. So these are pretty easy, not gonna lie. They're also very thin, so I'm just gonna adjust right from the very start. All right, so I'm just gonna just straighten that out a little bit, make it a little less sharp so it doesn't cut any paper, and just do the exact same thing again, except this one is way easier because it's got less pages in it. Actually, that was one of the things that I was thinking about a lot yesterday, was doing the hardcover version of this, and what I would do on the cover, and yeah. So I do have some faux leather in there, some black faux leather, just PVC or whatever, I'm not sure what it is, but yeah, so maybe I should cut a piece of that and wet it and stamp it and see what happens. I mean, I can just wet the covers of those as well and do them, so. But yeah, you can see how much easier I'd say that. and then it got stuck. But this is generally easier because it doesn't have as much a thread through, so you don't tend to have to tell it. Like, you don't have to sort of guide it. And, you know, I'm also not having to work it. I can just turn it from both ends and it's fine. I forgot how nice and easy these were. Yeah, so so I'm going to go and take these down to the post office today. I was thinking maybe I should just go down the pub and have some lunch, just chill out, but you know, away from home, away from everywhere socks isn't. It's kind of funny, I was thinking about it, yes, of course it's pretty much all I've been thinking about, but I didn't realise how much of my life he filled up. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but he was a part of everything, you know, and it just, yeah, I was really surprised at that. So, because, you know, I hear a noise, I think it's him. I look somewhere, expect him to be there, and I do things because of him. So, yeah, really had no clue that socks was such a big part of my life. But then again, when you have a pet for 20 years, what do you expect? Okay, again, I'm not keeping those. Once upon a time I used to. I don't know why, because I'm a hoarder. I do know why. These are just exactly the same. They just get turned over on the ends so that sometimes you'll find when you turn your pages, it'll work its way all the way up to the top of the spiral or all the way down to the bottom of the spiral. This is just so that if that happens, it cannot unspiral completely. So, like me, I've unspiraled completely. And there you go. That's it. Done. That was easy. Oh, now the next one. Not so easy. Hello, back again. Final little part for this whole series, I think. The undated bullet journal has just been published, so I went in and went to delete it or edit it. I am not allowed to do either one of these things, so I have unpublished it. And I can archive the title, but I can't edit the paper and I can't actually delete it. So anyway, so I'm going to upload that again now. How's my hair today? Oh, it's still a little bit dodgy, whatever. I don't care. I've been down the street looking like this. Oh, and my arm. I was looking at how dark it is out there. It's been raining for I went down to Shoppo at 11 o'clock. I think I walked out at 12:30. I went and took the post stuff and that as well. And I walked in there, it was sunny and quite warm. Walked out, it was freaking raining. I was like, and like there was no clouds when I walked in there. Anyway, so yeah, but yep, that's it. That's what's happening. All my orders are done now, so I can relax and not feel as bad that I haven't done those. Yep, that's been published, so I've unpublished it. I'll re-upload that with white, so it can have white paper. It's just, I was sort of to the point like should I just let it go with green paper, but I just can't. So I'm not going to. The worst part is for me to get, if I get a publisher's copy, if I get an author copy, sorry, it can take 9 to 13 weeks for me to get it. An author's copy means you get it at cost, basically. So to get a copy of it, like I did of the other one, I'm going to have to pay like $40 odd because I have to pay the $38 at a cost plus delivery. So I have to pay full price so I can get it like in a week or so. I don't think I'll be doing that this time because I don't have any money left. It's all gone. So I've got some food and I've paid half the vet bill, so that's it. I'm broke. I'm done. So I will not have any more money for anything for another week from today. So yeah, and even then I'm not going to have that much. Thankfully, because I knew I was not going to have a job, the afterpays I have $20 left to pay on afterpay, and that is it. So yeah. Oh, I have to put that down, it's too heavy. Oh, can you stand up? Can you stand up? Do you need to stand up is the question. Am I going to waffle? I mean, there's a good chance I'm going to waffle. Then you can't stand up there because that's not going to happen. So, although what you would have been leaning on is, oh, look at the dust. Look at the dust. Look at the dust. Oh dear, but I mean, seriously, how cool. If you know, you know. As I say, I've also got a face hugger in a jar. And this is actually a tiny little alien. Isn't it adorable? Yeah, that's the cube out of, oh my goodness. I'm not telling you. I'm not telling you. Eraser. I remembered. All right. Yep, so that's it. I sound like I'm in better spirits. I probably am, because I don't know, I am for the minute. I have been doing a little bit of work today. I am currently doing promos for all the notebook planners that I'm planning on releasing, but I can't release them if I don't. I mean, they're all made. I just need the promos. Yeah, and yeah, I don't know. I had a good night's sleep last night, so I took a sleeping pill. So I knew, because I tried to go to sleep without one, but I couldn't. My brain was just, yeah. So anyway, so I had a good night's sleep and I went out and did what I was supposed to. That always puts me in a good mood. So that's my reward drug. I don't know what it's called. Like when you, is it serotonin? That's the happy drug, isn't it? When you do something that makes you feel good, you get that rush of endorphins. And maybe that's what I'm thinking. So I always get that when I finish anything on my to-do list or anything that's in my to-do list in my head, and going down, because I didn't want to drive down and put that stuff in the post, but I knew I had to do it. So yeah, so I'm really happy that I actually did that, didn't find an excuse to put it off, because then I'd have felt really bad and I would have been really down on myself about it as well. So yeah, alright, so that's 5 minutes of waffling. I think that's enough. I don't know how long this video is going to be. I'll probably edit this. Well, I want to do these promos. These promos are important because I can't, if I close, because I'm using mock-ups, if for some reason, normally when I make the mock-up square rather than rectangle, because all my promo images are square on the website, they're all 800 by 800. If I do, and it's a smart object, but it's a smart object that's designed for Photoshop, and I use Affinity Photo. I don't use any Adobe products because, so Adobe, I'm not giving them any of my money because they're a bunch of rip-off merchants. I just have to put this phone down. My arm's hurting. Just trying not to do anything silly. Frowns. Yeah, so sometimes I'd say 99.5% of the time smart object PSDs will work in Affinity Photo, but then you get that 0.5% where they just have to be dickheads about things, and this file is one of them. No matter what I do, no matter how I save it, no matter what I do, if I then reopen it as a is it AF? I think it's AF photo is its native format, like PSD is for Photoshop. AF photo is for Affinity Photo. Yeah, if I open it as that, it just will not work. It will not work. So I have to do what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 by 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So what's that? 140 images, 140 mock-up images. That if I accidentally close this program, or something happens to the computer or something, I'll have to start it again because they have to match. That's my problem. I know that's a me problem, but they have to match. So shut up. All right, so I'm going to get on to that now. I might do that, and then I'll re-upload the bullet journal, get that back through. I think it actually took like 7 days to go through a review, so it's going to probably be another week before it's available, which will give me time, I guess, to add all the stickers to the goddamn website, which I don't even know if that's going to happen anytime soon. Who knows? I don't know. I'm overwhelmed, but I'm not going to let it overwhelm me to the point where I don't do anything, because that happens too much and I have to stop that. So I'm just going to continue doing what I'm doing, and I'm going to ignore everything else, finish that, and then I'll start the next thing. I mean, it sounds like a plan, but you know what they say about plans. Buy a planner and don't use it, and don't do any of your plans. On that note, I'm leaving. Goodbye.